Hey, this one is specifically for Latin 3. I mean, if you're in Latin 1 and you want to watch it, it's not going to hurt you. But you don't need this right now, so I recommend you hold off and we'll get the level 3 kids on this one. Level 3 kids. This one's about gerunds. I know we did already talk about gerunds in class, but not enough, probably. So the gerund looks a lot like the gerundive, and I put an example up here for you to look at. Right, this is the verb to lie. I just picked a random one, and I went ahead and threw those forms up there, very much like the gerundive that we talked about in class. Right, you can see basically all you got to do to form one of these is you got to take that present stem and add nd to it, and then add endings. But because the gerund is a verbal noun, you can't just add any old endings to it. You specifically have to add these endings, second declension neuter endings, and it can only be singular. All right. Like you can't, if you're talking about this as a noun, it would be lying or deceiving, and you can't have lyings or deceivings. That's not a thing. You'll notice I also didn't put anything for the nominative form because there isn't a nominative of the genitive. That's going to feel weird because in English there totally is. We could use lying or deceiving as a subject, but the Romans don't. If you want to use a gerund as a subject of a sentence, you're going to use the infinitive. In fact, some people say there is a nominative and it's the infinitive. I just left it blank. So that's what's going on with those forms. Probably not super hard to figure out. You may remember that just fine. But when we were learning about those forms, I was focusing on the gerundive. We didn't really talk about how you use gerunds in a sentence, so I thought I'd put a few examples up here right now. All right. So starting off with this one, I figure it's good to start with the accusative, right? I've got my over here, just because accusatives are, relatively easy, right? So this is just a good old direct object, right? What it says up here is, my cats love playing. All right. You don't have to do that with a gerund. You could do that with an infinitive as well, but you can also do it with a gerund. My cats love playing. All right. So that's just a real simple example, right? But part of why I'm making this video is because I want to use examples that are going to be like slightly less intuitive. So another instance in which I very often see gerunds when I read, and one that you'll definitely see in various places in our textbook, is the ablative. All right, this O is my ablative O, and so what it says there is the cats woke me up. Right, so the cats are my subject. They awoke is our verb in the perfect here. Me is the direct object. And then it's by hurting me with their claws. And so I've got my gerund here in the ablative. As an ablative, it's behaving like an ablative of means, right? This is the thing they used to wake me up, which is hurting me. That's how they did it. They hurt me, and I've got another ablative of means here as well, with their claws. All right. So the cats awoke me by hurting me with their claws. I'm sure there's probably a better verb for like slashing or stabbing, but I did this on the fly. I'm busy. All right. So yeah, expect to see gerunds in the ablative as some kind of ablative of specification, or very often an ablative of means. Okay. But you will see them in some other cases. Now, this one is of a genitive. I feel like I don't see gerunds in the genitive super often, but you might. You absolutely might. And this is actually real simple, real similar to some of the examples that you'll be seeing in the textbook soon. So here, what you've got is your subjects, Luke and Leia. Yes, my cats are named after the Skywalkers. So we've got Luke and Leia are cupidi, desirous of. And this particular adjective takes a genitive. You're always desirous of something, as in you want to do it. And then this is what they are desirous of, stealing. Honestly, they're really not bad about stealing, but I need an example. So yeah, my cats, Luke and Leia, are desirous of stealing. Or if you wanted to, you could be less literal and just say they want to steal, right? But this is a way of saying that. Actually, something you'll notice with a lot of the constructions that use the gerund and gerundive too, for that matter, is oftentimes there's an alternative way to say a very similar idea. In fact, usually one that we know from Latin 1 or Latin 2. I also want to make sure we got a dative example in here too. So I also made one of these. So So what this one says is my kittens. I actually don't know if that's how you spell kittens, but maybe that's how you spell kittens. It's an attempt. So the kittens give me no time to work. All right, and I've got my dative lavorando over here. So if you want to think about it as literally as possible, we've got the little cats, the kittens, give no time. So my direct object, right? Neuter accusative there. If you're wondering why nullum and tempus look different, it's because this is a neuter third. So I have my neuter to agree with it. And then I would be the indirect object here, mihi. So the kittens are giving to me no time. And then my dative over here is the thing for which they are not giving me time. It's something called a dative of purpose. They are giving me no time for the purpose of working. And this is the kind of thing you might see a gerund doing in the dative. It's possible for gerunds to do really just about anything that those cases can do. I just put out some examples that, are the kinds of things I think you're going to see, either that I know you're going to see or I think you could. So, yes, this video is kind of fast and messy when it comes to gerunds. Are we going to need more practice with this? Oh, we sure are. And if you're watching this when I uploaded it, you're going to get that practice next week. If you're watching it in the future, hopefully it's still informative. All right, I will see you ever so soon.